So today's video is just a little bit of a review of the health vocabulary words that I shared with you yesterday. This video is going to be a little bit shorter, but I think it's a good idea to practice using these words. So here are just all of the words that I went over yesterday, just a list of them. So the first couple words are a lot more common. You probably already know these words, but still important to review and go over. And I have a lot of other more difficult words such as consciousness, quarantine, asymptomatic, all of that. But if you do need a little bit more of a review, you can always look back at yesterday's video. The reason I chose all these words is because I've seen them in the news a lot, and I'm sure you have too. But yeah, we will get started using these words in sentences. So this first slide is all about symptom words. So there are a few ways that you could tell somebody about your symptoms. So a very easy way to say this, to tell someone about your symptoms, is to just say you have something. So my first example, I said, I have a cough, a fever, and shortness of breath. I also have a sore throat. Should I get tested for COVID-19? So this is, like I said, a very simple, easy way just to tell somebody about the symptoms that you have. There's other ways that you can say, tell a doctor or another person about your symptoms too. You could say, like in the second sentence, you could say, I am experiencing chills and I get headaches a lot. Those are just some other ways to tell someone about your symptoms. You could still say I have, as an easy way to say it though. And then in this last sentence, I have no symptoms of the illness, but my mother had it. Could I be asymptomatic? So as a little reminder, asymptomatic means that you could have the virus, but you do not have any symptoms. And as we've also went over yesterday, just as a quick reminder, symptoms are signs of an illness. So here are some words that we might see a lot more during COVID-19. So my first example, I've written, most people with COVID-19 have mild symptoms. However, some people have severe symptoms and need medical care, especially if they lose consciousness. So as a little reminder, when someone says losing consciousness or has lost consciousness, it means that you are not awake and you're not aware of your surroundings. So that first sentence is good. I mean, those first few sentences are good to look over because it shows the difference between having mild symptoms and severe symptoms. If we remember from yesterday, mild symptoms mean that the symptoms that you have are not dangerous and not serious. However, severe symptoms are dangerous and are serious. In the second example, I've written, right now, I am isolating in my home with my family. But if I get sick, I will have to quarantine for 2 weeks. So a thing to remember, so what I've written below this is, remember that isolation is different from quarantine. And a good way to remember the difference between these two words is you isolate when you are healthy and you quarantine when you are sick. And then in my last sentence, I've included some words about testing and swab, and like how, and like testing for coronavirus and like what the doctor's visit would look like. But the sentence says, if I am sick, my doctor will give me a test for COVID-19 where she will swab my mouth and nose. So lastly, I have a little short story that I've written that uses some of our new vocabulary words. And it reads as this. Up until yesterday, I was healthy and I was isolating in my home because of COVID-19. However, I went to the grocery store a few days ago, and there were lots of people there. Yesterday, I started coughing, and today I have a fever. I am also fatigued. Right now, my symptoms are mild, so I will quarantine. But if my symptoms become severe, I will go to the hospital and they will test me. Hopefully, I will be okay. I just wanted to say I don't I don't mean to send this video as a way to scare anyone more about coronavirus or make people even more worried. I just want to make sure that you all know a lot of good vocabulary words to know during these times. They're in the news all the time. People are using these words and talking about this stuff all the time. So I just think it's a good idea, even if you're not sick and even if you end up being healthy this entire time. I hope you're all healthy. I hope you're all doing all right. I myself, I'm healthy and I'm doing all right. But lastly, I just want to thank you all for watching this video today, and I hope you have a great start to your week.